Shady or not, you got something going on in your relationship. Things are going fine. And then something that he or she does where you're like, that just is rubbing me the wrong way. Is it shady or not? You hit us up at thebertshow.com. In this case, it was her ex wanted to set her up on a date. You remember this a few days ago? And she's like, this makes no sense to me because the ex still wants me, but he set me up on a date. Remember how confused we were?
Yep, in this installment of Shady or Not, she dated Tom for 4 years. They broke up last fall. If you dated somebody for 4 years, would you be like really quick to set them up on another date within the next few months? Probably not. But she thought Tom was a special exception, even though they broke up because Tom started talking about marriage and she was like, my head and my heart aren't in the same place as your head and your heart, and he was really upset. He tried to get her back a few times since last fall, and it wasn't working out. So finally, he texted her out of the blue, and he's like, you remember my friend Rob? You guys would be, like, really good together. And she was like, yeah, I remember Rob. Rob was a hottie, and I thought you picked up those vibes, and that's why we stopped hanging out with Rob ever again. And Tom was like, I think you would like him. So Tom is like, I'm setting you up on a date with him. But it kept getting, like, screwed around, like, they had a date and then it got stretched some more, and she felt really skeptical because she's like, why do I even need you as the middleman, Tom, when everything keeps getting messed up? Why can't I just message Rob or text him on my own? But Tom was the one facilitating the whole thing and being the middleman, and he insisted on that for some reason. He wanted to make the connection with them and set them up and matchmake them, I guess, allegedly. But she thought, he set me up on this date. It's screwed around so many times, and we finally have this date happening this weekend. Should I go? Is Rob actually going to be there, or is Tom being shady and setting me up with himself?
The anxiety of actually showing up to that date, like you're anxious to begin with, and now you don't know if this is a complete setup or not when you walk up, right? So you're already nervous going into this thing.
Hey, Bert Show. Yes, I have an update for you. You all were right. It was very shady and not at all innocent. However, it wasn't completely what you all thought. There legitimately was a date with Rob set up. Before our date, I decided to do what one of you had suggested, and I just contacted him on Instagram. I was nervous that he wouldn't know anything about our date and not feel foolish. So I was very vague when I messaged him. I just said hi and mentioned finding him on Instagram. His response was to immediately confirm our date. I was relieved. I told him that I was looking forward to it. So the night of our date, I showed up at the restaurant. He was already there at the bar. As I got closer, I could see who he was talking to. Tom was there too.
What?
Tom is the ex?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Only Tom was not alone. Tom brought a date.
Ew.
What a weirdo. What?
Double ew, Dobby. That is
Such a
so
weirdo.
ew.
Apparently, my date with Rob was actually a double date with Tom and the one girl at his office that I had always been jealous of.
This guy.
That's funny, actually.
Wow.
Man. Come
He
on.
went hard.
Man. Oh, my God.
Grow up, bro.
I was so furious, but I tried so hard to pretend I didn't care. I ignored them as much as I could and really flirted hard with Rob in front of Tom. At the end of the night, I said goodbye to Rob and completely ignored the other two. When I got home, Tom tried to text me to discuss the evening. I told him to never contact me again. Then I tried to text Rob and apologize for the awkwardness and explain that Tom clearly had ulterior motives. He said it was apparent, and we both agreed to limit any contact with Tom.
Damn.
The silver lining is that Rob and I agreed that we had a great time, and we're going out again this weekend.
This might blow up in Tom's face.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, going this far to try to make her jealous, clearly he wants her back. She should have just had sex with that guy right at the table.
She should have.
You want to play games? Watch it. I mean, right in the middle of the restaurant.
Might be a bit much, but I like your thinking.
Tommy.
I actually think this is kind of funny. I think point to Tom. It's kind of funny. He got her the the coworker she's always been jealous of.
Yeah.
And got all flirty with them at the table. That is the funniest, largest stretch a man has ever done to make his ex jealous. It's honestly, he deserves some kind of hat or something, something for this accomplishment of being the most bitter little shady mofo of all time.
A hat's a lot. We'll give him a button. I think he deserves a button.
How about an ass hat?
Not like-
'Cause that's kind of
Yeah.
what he is.
That's
Not a
exactly
nice
what he
hat.
is. Ain't no kinda.
The dude is just like exposing himself, though. He's so clearly saying that I still want you back so much that I'm willing to do all this for you. Like, it's almost embarrassing.
Putting that much energy into it, he definitely wants her back so bad.
All right, so she's going out with this other guy again, and they've both agreed to keep the ex out of the whole thing.
That's
It's
wise.
probably the best way to go.
The Bert Show.
Hey, do you like what you just watched? Because you can get more Bert Show for free. We drop new podcast every weekday, and you can find us anywhere. Spotify, Apple, any place you get podcasts.